Man, this protagonist is so lame. If I were in the webtoon, things would be way easier.
Are you sure about that?
A few moments later.
Ah, fuck. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the webtoons you read came to life? If the characters you loved appeared right next to you? If you yourself somehow became a character in the webtoon yourself? Well, do I have a webtoon for you? Webtoon character Na Kang Lim is a webtoon that answers this question of what would happen if the main character of a webtoon was, you know, just an average human being. A person like you and me, and not some absurd superhuman Giga Chad who can literally destroy a freaking forged steel wrecking ball with one kick, while being in high school as well. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, I could barely walk up the stairs sometimes without getting gassed. Yeah, I was a little out of shape. But anyways, webtoon character Na Kang Lim is about a high school student named, well, you guessed it, Na Kang Lim, who is your average connoisseur of webtoons. And his favorite webtoon is his webtoon called Escape the Sixth Wife, which is supposedly a classic rom-com webtoon about a male lead that saves the 6 female leads from different dangers. However, one day, all of a sudden, his favorite waifu from this webtoon appears in front of him, which is absolute heaven, I know. But sadly, there's a catch. You see, the webtoon world arrives alongside her, merging with Na Kang Lim's real world, everything except its main protagonist. And while it may look like nothing has changed, remember, it's actually a webtoon world. And so, now it's a world where every other high schooler is part of some super criminal gang, or the mafia and yakuza are conspiring the downfall of society. And so now, Na Kang Lim has to deal with all of these progressively outlandish scenarios in place of the missing protagonist. But unlike the protagonist, he's just your average Joe. But luckily enough for him, he is given an ability to jump back in time to a checkpoint of sorts to try to clear the different scenarios. It's like a save point. And so, imagine it's like if ReZero took place in a high school located in the most crime-ridden, conspiracy-filled location. Or basically just Detroit. And so what makes this webtoon shine in a genre filled with titles like Lickism, or Reality Quest, or Study Group, is that unlike these Herculean superhumans, the main character isn't anything special.
Yes.
He's really just your everyday schmuck. And because of this, the MC can't just solve everything with his fists. Rather, he has to solve problems as a normal person, with the only advantage he has being his knowledge of the webtoon events. And through this, he can create his own unique solutions, and the webtoon makes these solutions feel like ideas that you and me could reasonably come up with. And these solutions and answers that he comes up with are really interesting and engaging. For example, in order for the main character to catch a stalker, he pretended to be the heroine by dressing up as her and by having the stalker's texts redirect to him. And this allowed him to lure and entrap the stalker. Or another example is him ensnaring the villain by recording blackmail in the guise of a drama to avoid that villain's special danger detection ability. It makes more sense in the webtoon. And this is what makes the webtoon shine the most, by creating this likable and sympathizable character who isn't just some flawless, invulnerable superhuman, but rather it's a person who is just like you and me, who is just a normal human being and who is interacting with this cast of exceptional / almost superhuman webtoon characters. And because everyone else in the cast is quote-unquote extraordinary, it in some sense forces Na Kang Lim to depend on others for help, as he needs them to help him get the perfect results, and they ultimately push him to grow as a character. And by spending time with this ensemble cast, and by having the protagonist grow alongside them, the webtoon allows you, the reader, to understand and to, well, enjoy the rest of the cast more. And this cast is incredibly likable, and each heroine in the cast has her own distinct traits and personality. I mean, the cast of characters literally includes a psychic, a pro gamer, an actress, and so on. But regardless, Park Jung-ah is best girl. And because each character has their own distinct traits, depending on the situation or scenario at hand, they each have their own moment to shine. Likewise, they also each have their own problems and their own struggles that they have to deal with. And so, be it not being good at video games, to needing help with drawing a webtoon, to learning how to dance, each of the different female leads gets the spotlight again and again, even after their own introduction arc. And that means that no one out of the main cast really gets thrown aside or forgotten for, I don't know, like 100 chapters or something. Rather, they're all relevant to the plot. And so, through solving each of the problems by working together with the different female leads, it feels like the MC is able to reach a true ending of sorts. As unlike the webtoon world, the MC isn't able to just band-aid over the heroine's problems by single-handedly beating up the symptoms. Rather, he has to actually understand and address the root of the problem for the heroine itself. And this allows him to connect and understand this cast a lot more than if he was just your stereotypical overpowered webtoon protagonist. And it in turn allows you, the reader, to similarly develop a deeper connection and understanding of the surrounding cast. And this is honestly what makes the webtoon so much fun. It's getting to see what is effectively a normal but fleshed out and flawed human being, getting to explore what would happen if his favorite webtoon literally comes to life. Getting to explore his favorite characters on a page beyond just a generic surface level, to see them as living, breathing human beings, with a depth that you couldn't have if you could just solve most problems instantaneously. And this all stems from the fact that the MC isn't just some generic self-insert, ultra giga chat of a character. Rather, he is his own unique and fleshed out character. He is webtoon character Na Kang Lim. And so yeah, this pretty much just wraps up my thoughts on webtoon character Na Kang Lim, and I highly recommend you all to check it out. And so if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and it helps give me that motivation boost needed to make all of these videos. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, Dwarlock signing off.